Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Thursday, May the 2nd. My name is Barry Enerson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions for me, you can use this email address, and this is a link to get into our free room. And again, we have our test drive starting Monday. You'll see the link for the test drive in the email you're getting. And the test drive runs from Monday to Friday, 5 full trading days for $8.99 to give you access to our full premium service, just as if you were a Trade Ideas premium subscriber. And once the test drive is over, don't worry, we don't put you into a subscription or anything like that. There's nothing for you to do. Once it's over, you don't have to unsubscribe or anything. Of course, if you want to take out a subscription, there'll be a nice promo code for you, but you don't have to worry that we're going to put you into a subscription. Only reason I say that is that we get the question all the time. And I open the room at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And it's free. It's a free room. I had a question this morning. Is it only free for Trade Ideas subscribers? No, it is a free room for everybody. And I'm also streaming live on YouTube now. And as I say, I open at 9. That's when I start to share my screen, get live on the mic at 9:05, and go up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. Well, another unbelievably interesting day again. NSPR. So, first of all, let's take a look at ABIO. So, if you were in the room yesterday, I traded this one, but I missed out on the big jump up here. I think, like a lot of us, we thought, okay, they'll probably do a financing. These little bios, they, when they have this huge price increases, they tend to do a financing, raising money. And a lot of us thought they'd probably announce it after hours yesterday, but they didn't. And so got up this morning and I see this action. Now you see this bottoming tail right there? See that right down there? I thought, aha, they've just announced their financing. But I was wrong. Came right back up and look at this. I mean, it's craziness, isn't it? $20.47. This stock yesterday at one point was $5, all right? And basically 4 times, and before it finally started giving it up. And there is a little bit of news on it, not much, but there is a little bit of news. So at least people could say, okay, that's why it's doing this. I mean, it's doing it really because the float is so small. We have 154,000 shares in the float. That may not be exactly correct. Whatever it is, I'm sure it might be around 1 million. That is still very, very low. So having said all that, NSPR. It's something I don't often do. But NSPR, you can see this is the pre-market. Now, this is one that did a reverse split. I don't know the exact date, but certainly probably within the last couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And so you can see that this was the pre-market action. So it closed yesterday down here, I think around 506. So now all of a sudden it's 550. So it's popping up. That candle is still 9 o'clock. Is that right? 9:15. Yeah, there's the opening candle. But you can see this. So this is all the pre-market action on this one. So this was but there's no news. There's no specific news. Not like the ABIO. Again, however you want to view the ABIO news, at least there was news. No news on this one, but you can see, in my opinion anyway, that people were saying, okay, I didn't get into the ABIO. What could be the next one? So this is kind of what happens. Now, this is another one. No, we have 600,000 shares in the float. Whatever it is, it's going to be very, very low. And so I decided to, as I said to the room, I'm going to take a bit of a wild hair on this one. And I got in at 649. Well, oops. My cursor there, that's close enough, 650. And as I said, I didn't take as many shares as I would maybe normally take because I thought, okay, I'm going to get in here and it could be whippy. And boy, whippy it was. I mean, normally I would have been out because I didn't get this on the way up. I got this, well, I didn't get it on the way up here. I got this here and then it dropped, all right? And I was thinking, okay, my out was 590. It was literally, I was putting about a 60 cents stop on it. Again, that's a wide stop, but I didn't take as many shares because I was thinking, okay, what if this has like a multiple dollar move? So I thought, okay, let's just see what happens. So Bottom line is, it came all the way back, and look what it did. Got all the way up to 740. Remember, I'm in at 649. I did sell some at 690 in case it didn't make it through that 7. I sold some at 735, and I got out the last on the way down at 685. So, for nice early trade, again, I don't often take the trades in the first 15 minutes. My rule is, if I have a rule, I do have a rule, I suppose, but I mean, rules sometimes can be modified. My rule is more on the more expensive ones, the $30, $40, $50 stocks. I find that they're too whippy in the first 15 minutes. But if you don't get into these really low float ones in the first 15 minutes, you may not get a chance. So I consider this sort of a different class. So I will take these ones in the first 15 minutes. And that, man, I mean, that turned out to be just a great trade, obviously. DWDP could have been a much better trade for me. This was an earnings play that I shorted, ended up shorting. Got in, man, is it ever nice now? 35.90. Close enough. Got into this one here. It moved all the way down to... Oh, that's right. I had to do this twice. I got stopped out 35.90. It moved up over 36, and I got out at 36.01, and I reshorted it at 35.90, and then it did this. And unfortunately, I had this little jog. I did take out some at 35.54, and then at 78. And unfortunately, I did not get back in it because look what it did. And it still looks like it wants to move down. So, a bit of a missed opportunity, but, it's one of those things. Now, I have made up for it on this one, Rheology. Another earnings play. Make sure, yeah, it is an earnings play. Now, the funny thing is that Real in the room, if you've been in the room, Real's a great trader. And he said... I sort of misunderstood what he meant. I thought he meant it was going to be difficult getting the short here. Now this was at this point this was at an all-time low, and I love those stocks, all-time lows, breaking below the whole number. Plus it's an earnings play, so a lot of things so it's going to be it shouldn't just stall, and so I put in. I didn't think I'd get it because it was already down at that point. I think 17 or 18%, and if you know anything about trying to short a stock that's down more than 10%, you can get nailed by this uptick rule. So what has to happen is you can go in at the bid, but unless there's some action at the ask, and then of course getting back to the bid, but you could be in a queue of lots of people wanting to short. So I put in the bid at, I went in at the bid at 1080. I did not think I was going to get filled, and lo and behold, I did. I actually scalped some out almost immediately at 1070, and I still have the rest. And so it turned out to be a pretty nice trade from 1080 down to 1030. That's a great percentage move, 50 cents and a $10 stock. That is a great percentage move. So anyway, but obviously the big one was NSPR. That's now, that I was really, what's Beyond Meat doing? So this one, IPO today. Bit of a disappointment because the IPO price is $25. Well, look where it is right now. It's basically more than double that price. I was hoping that I knew the IPO would probably come in at the high end. They were talking 23 to 25, but I was hoping maybe it would open optimistically 30, 32, but it's too hard now because I really wanted to swing this one. Had it open around 30 odd, and then if it kept moving higher and higher, I would have probably taken some and held on for a swing. Again, this is Beyond Meat, and a lot of big players behind it: Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley, to name three of them. I think Credit Suisse, not Morgan Stanley, but. It's just a little too high right now. It reminds me a little bit what happened with Lyft. Lyft was supposed to IPO around 62 and it opened around 85. So, that not quite the same. This is even worse on a percentage basis. So we'll see. This could still rip higher. The one I'm actually kind of interested in, and I see it sort of triggered, TMXD. This IPO today also. I'm sorry, TMDX. This IPO'd also today, and I think it was 15 was the high, maybe 15, 17. But so now this is a premium still, but not a crazy premium. It's not like a double like the other one. And so I actually put an alert up here, and I see it popped above it. The only way I'll take an IPO on the day of is usually if it takes out the high of the day later on in the day. And there's the high. Now I noticed it did while I was just starting this video, but it moved back down again. So I've reset the alert. I realize that is a new high of the day, but we'll see if it can take this out again. And I may take some as an intraday trade and then see what happens going forward, over the next week or so to see if I want to actually swing this one. But I am definitely disappointed on the Beyond Meat. Hey, listen, it could go to $100, but it's to me, it's just too much of a premium to pay right now. So that's about it. Exciting day. Say I was tired after a couple of hours because there was so much activity and great activity. It was a good tired, but tired nonetheless. So let me just close this down. And if you have any questions for me, you can use this email address. Again, this is a link to get into our free room. The test drive starts on Monday. So please, if you're thinking about trying us at all, if you can afford $8.99 for 5 trading days, then now's the time to do it. We only do this 4 times a year. So, this is a good opportunity for you just to try us out. Try our premium service just as if you were a premium subscriber. All right, bring back the capture program. And I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock sharp Eastern time. So hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.